All right, here we are, final episode of The Bad Batch. I can honestly not believe we're at this point already. It feels like yesterday that this season kicked off, but it also feels like yesterday that this whole series kicked off. I can remember vividly, I was sitting in my room, we were on vacation, the first episode dropped, it was like an hour and 15 minutes long. I watched it at 3 a.m. whenever it came out, but from the get-go, this show had my attention. I still think episode 1 is one of the best of the series. Season 1 had its ups and downs, there was a lot of filler in season 1, but there were also some fantastic episodes. Going more into season 2, we had a lot more of those great episodes, a little less filler, but it was still present. But like I said also, this show has some of the best episodes or moments in Star Wars media, period. I think the Solitary Clone episode from last season, as well as the Outpost, those are two of the best things we've gotten from Disney Star Wars. The storytelling that they were able to provide in those two episodes, just in the time frame that they had, 20 to 25 minutes, it's just astounding. But then we get to this season and it just kicked it into high gear. There has been absolutely no filler whatsoever this whole season. I know some people call the Fennec episode filler. I'm not on that same page. I actually liked that episode quite a bit, but I understand where people are coming from with that sentiment. But I am filming this intro a little bit before the episode comes out. I'm not sure how long it is exactly, but I think that the Latin America Disney Plus account tweeted out today that it is an hour long. I'm sure that that's reliable, so I'm going to go with that for now. This is a beefy sized episode. I was a little bit worried that they weren't going to be able to cover it in a 20 to 25 minute episode. So I'm glad that this is an hour long, just like the kickoff to this show. I'm excited yet nervous for all of these characters because we don't see them in any kind of continuity afterwards. I'm sure that's going to change with characters like Omega and some of the kids that we're maybe seeing in the vault. But the Bad Batch itself, I don't have a lot of faith that they're going to make it out of this episode alive. And that goes for all of them. I honestly don't think they're all going to die, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. The only thing that I need to happen in this episode is Hemlock gets eaten by the Zillo Beast. That's it. I just want to see it. And you can throw in the doctor bitch that told the girl it'll pass whenever she said she was hungry. I wouldn't mind that either. So like I said, this is a bittersweet moment. We're at the end of this show. No more after this. I mean, we have Tales of the Empire coming out. That's the only thing that we have Clone Wars animation style kind of continuation coming up that we know of course. I'm hoping that the end of this show leaves it open enough so that there can be a continuation in some way, shape, or form. I'm very eager to check this out. Before we get started though, do me a favor, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm super excited yet nervous. So let's go.
Ow!
Can you make it?
Try and stop me.
Yeah, this already has me worried. Wrecker being slower. Not up here. We already knew that. You know what I meant.
Dr. Hemlock, one of the insurgents has been captured.
Oh yeah, Rampart. I'm honestly kind of mad that we haven't gotten more with Scorch. I mean, they gotta get through to these clones this episode, right?
You're surprisingly calm, considering this secure and secret facility has been compromised. I can't imagine the Emperor will be pleased about that.
I don't think he will.
What I am working on is beyond your understanding. Something so vital to the Empire it makes me indispensable. Unlike yourself.
I think you're gonna be pretty dispensable by the end of this episode. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Why are you helping me?
Because I was wrong about this place. And I'm trying to do the right thing.
Took you long enough. Better late than never, I guess.
If we can get out of this room and find them, we can all go home.
You really think this will work?
I'll make sure of it.
I just want to see somebody ride the Zillo Beast.
My game is broken. Can you fix it?
That is not part of my program.
Oh boy.
You've done this before, right?
Yes, but not on this type of droid.
Oh, not good. Not good at all.
We were with the droid.
Dr. Carr's been too lenient with you all. Return to your alcoves. A few days of isolation should remind you.
Nice. I didn't see that coming though either.
Ready?
Ready.
I swear, if anything happens to any of those kids.
He's gonna need another med patch.
But that is making me worried, like I said.
can make it. How does Omega fit into all this?
She's vital to Hemlock's main objective for the Emperor. Project Necromancer.
Yeah, are we finally gonna see that?
Don't like the sound of that.
No, it's not good.
Everybody good? Baron's getting restless. He won't fight for much longer. Don't worry. Things are about to get very loud anyways.
Yes, they are. That looked like a Lobot headpiece for a second. Oh, great!
You hear that?
Find out where that's coming from.
You guys are about to have bigger problems. No pun intended.
Hi.
Step out of there.
Hi.
What's the situation?
Guys, look behind you. Oh, shit. Yes! That abrupt cut.
Omega and these specimens have escaped. Due to Dr. Scalder's incompetence, they exploited a weak point within the walls.
Yes,
She will
blame
be dealt
her.
with.
Yes, kill her for all I care.
The Zillow's loose in the containment level.
Fine, Omega, Dr. Carr. Consider your fate now tied to hers.
Omega. She released the Zillow.
How do you know that?
Because it's exactly what I'd do.
She did learn from the best. Omega's character has grown so much on me over the course of this show, especially this season. Like, I feel like this season has mainly been her story. The focus has mainly been on her, and I really like that. Dude, this thing better eat Hemlock, I swear. Damn, I forgot how big that thing is. That is getting a lot worse.
Told you we should have brought Badger.
He's basically incapacitated. Crosshair's got the shaky hands. They need backup really bad.
You two, head to the communications array and try to contact Rex.
Yes, get Rex.
I've been inside that mountain. I know what we're up against. If we all go in, we're not all making it out.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm doing this alone. It's what I deserve.
He's gonna die.
Omega needs all of us, and so do those clones. We've always known the risks, and so did Tech. We do this together.
Son of a bitch.
What's going on?
Something big. Yes.
Echo's handiwork or Omega's?
Omega.
That can't be it for the Zillow Beast, right? It comes back. Because it's got to eat Hemlock. Like, come on.
The Zillow got out this way. So can we. What's wrong?
I'm not good with heights. I guess I'd make a poor soldier.
My brother Rekka hates heights too. Just stay focused on what's ahead, not what's below.
See, this is what I mean. They formed her into such a good leader. I mean, she definitely takes after all of them, but more specifically Hunter.
Send the shuttles after the Zillow.
But, sir, without air support, the rogue clones could exploit our weakened defenses.
Of course they will. Do it.
Was that a little bit of a hesitant moment for Scorch? Like I said, they gotta get through to these clones, like all the commandos. Oh shit, we finally gonna see? What be in here? But who? What? This is a new one. Oh, these are all new. Holy shit, the anti-Bad Batch. The even worse batch. Bro, I'm like getting more and more nervous as this goes on. I do not have a good feeling. I have a bad feeling about this, should I say. Ah, shit. What in the what?
How many?
Too many.
Yeah.
We can take them.
No, we can't.
No, you can't. Okay, that's the one, right? It was after them earlier on in the season? That has to be somebody prominent then. Oh, shit. Huh. Dude, this is crazy. Dude. Oh. No way. Whoa. They might all die. This is not good. Yeah.
Where are they being taken?
I don't know. But Hemlock will keep them well guarded.
Yeah, he's gonna turn them into whatever the hell these guys are. Ugh, I hate this. I like it, but I hate this at the same time.
Do you see your squad?
No, you're not gonna see them. They're not doing good right now.
You don't belong here. Call it in.
Nice.
The shuttles in Bay 4 are still operational.
You're helping us, Dr. Carr?
I am, but we must hurry.
We're a hunter, Rekka, and
Yeah,
Crosshair.
They're detained.
Uh-huh.
Take the kids to these coordinates. We'll meet you there.
No, this is not good. They're gonna have to get help, right? Like, they gotta contact Rex and Wolf and all them, right? If Rex has gotten through to Wolf at this point, Gregor, I mean, he would be with Gregor at this point, but they haven't gotten through to Wolf yet. We don't know that. Okay, well, at least they're safe. But this has me really worried. At least Crosshair doesn't have to worry about shaky hands anymore.
CT-9904 resisted my conditioning in the past, but I've made alterations to my methods.
Uh-huh.
We'll survive. You will make fine operatives. And if not, well, there's no shortage of clones to test on next.
Dude, one of those clones has to be Tech, right? It makes sense because he gave him the goggles at the end of last season before he took Omega. It just makes sense.
Incoming transmission from Governor Tarkin.
Ah, shit. Yeah, no more stun. Yeah, break them out. Break out the boys.
What's going on?
We're breaking out. Here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Echo, take that helmet off so you don't accidentally get shot.
Why did you come back to this place?
I had to, but it's okay. We're all getting out this time.
Are we though? I hope you're right.
Well, they could be in the training room. It's where Hemlock conditions the clones he deems useful.
I think I know where that is. Follow me.
Are you joking? The wisest course of action is to leave while we can.
Shut the hell up.
I must not allow my science to remain in the Empire's hands.
You're not gonna stop it at this point. You son of a bitch. What do you have in mind?
I hear you've lost control of the Zillow Beast, and that your facility is under threat. The Emperor is most concerned.
Is he gonna send his right hand?
You can expect my arrival shortly.
Anybody else's arrival? What do you have in mind, Nalase? Rampart, you bitch. Don't do what I think you might do. Okay, that's what she has in mind.
What research could be of such value to the Emperor?
I hate this dude. Yeah, blow him up. Kill him.
Tell me everything.
Nope. We just had to trust Rampart, didn't we? Had to give us a little bit of hope that there was going to be a redemption arc. Nope. Nope. Oh yeah, they were expecting you. Shoot the dude in the head! ground. Ugh. Oh, that was brutal for this show. You should have shot him. Not stun, shoot, kill.
A glaring weakness in clones is their loyalty.
Oh, your science means nothing to me. It's a mere bargaining chip. And if this is as vital as Hemlock said, the Empire should be willing to give me anything to get it back.
Oh my god. Blow him up. Your sacrifice is worth his death. Now die. Good riddance. Good riddance. Sorry, that wasn't meant for you guys. That was meant for, you know, him. Oh, shit.
Your dad is gone.
But I still have you.
You're forgetting one thing.
Yeah, not for long. Come on, boys. Get up. Oh, good lord.
Get the kid.
Yeah, there you go. Man, they could take a lot. Nice. Gonna find out who he was?
I'll find Omega. You should stay here.
Not a chance.
I guess not. He was a no one. It was just another Merrick situation. What the hell is this place? We haven't seen this place before that I remember. It looked like Tech's goggles.
Rekka, where are the others?
He's not looking good. Nice. And Scorch is done. No more stun.
You need me alive.
If only Crosshair didn't lose the shooting hand.
Drop the blasters! I'm off. I can't risk Omega. She knows what to do, Crosshair.
Nice. Bye, bitch. He didn't get eaten by the Zillow Beast, but I'll take it.
Come on. We gotta get to the shuttle.
Yeah, please get out of here before backup shows up, please. Did they really pump fake us? No one died? Oh, wow. The timing. And that Imperial Star Destroyer looks gorgeous in this animation.
I have completed my assessment. Various wings of the base sustained heavy damage.
That's an understatement.
The databanks were destroyed.
Shutter this facility indefinitely and redistribute all funding to Project Stardust.
Uh-huh. Cool. I am honestly amazed that they all made it out alive.
I'm heading to Pantora to help get some of the clones settled. I'm sure Senator Chuchi would find what you have to say very helpful to our cause.
They're finally safe.
Mm-hmm. And so are you.
Yeah, and I can't believe it. Dude, there's gotta be another show, because what happens to them between now and season 2 of Rebels?
We've all fought enough battles for one lifetime. Now, we get to choose who we want to be.
Dude, literally the only thing we lost was a hand. That is it. And is that it? No, it is not. Where is we now? Is this older Omega? Oh shit. It is. Whoa.
This shouldn't be a surprise. The rebellion needs pilots now more than ever.
Huh.
This? It's my fight. I'm ready.
Yeah, I know you are. But I'm not.
They've done such a good job with their relationship.
Keep an eye on Wrecker and Crosshair while I'm gone.
Okay, so they are still around. I was worried that they were dead at this point, but...
Omega. If you ever need us, we'll be there.
So I assume this is like roughly 5 to 10 years after, anywhere in that time frame, because he doesn't look super old yet. That was not the ending I was expecting, but that was the ending that the crew deserved. First off, I gotta say that the animation, the animated Star Wars, is by far and away the best thing that has come out of Disney Star Wars. Say what you will about the sequel trilogy. I personally, it's not my cup of tea. A lot of the live action shows have ultimately been disappointments. Like I said last week, the only two universally loved shows, I feel like, or at least seasons, are the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. I personally love Andor, but Andor is not everybody's cup of tea. Book of Boba Fett, I don't hate it as much as most people, but it was for sure a disappointment. They detracted from what we expected. The Mandalorian Season 3, it just has so many different problems. Again, I don't hate it as much as most people do, but it has a lot of problems. It is a big step down from the first 2 seasons. Obi-Wan Kenobi is really the only one that I don't like at all. Like, I really hate Obi-Wan Kenobi. And it pains me to say that because I have such a strong connection to the prequels, but that show just disappointed me on so many levels. Ahsoka is one of those shows that it just depends on the day, and it just depends on the episode as well. I feel like there's some beautiful moments in that show, but ultimately I would have liked to see more from it. Like, I could talk for hours about all the problems with live action Star Wars right now, but that leads me to say that animation is the one thing that I haven't had a huge problem with, or at least any problems with, really. And while we've complained about filler, you know, it's more of a problem for some people than it is for others. Me personally, it bothers me whenever it's very overt and they like go away for like 3 or 4 episodes and they do their own thing. That pisses me off. But whenever it's just one episode here, there, whatever, that's fine. And it also makes me mad because we see the potential with these shows. We see how good they can be whenever they're actually trying. So it's just kind of episodes that they're wasting away. But the whole Siege of Mandalore at the end of the show makes that season, and that's mainly what it's remembered as. And I feel like this show is going to be the same kind of thing. I feel like most people are going to remember this show for not only the finale, but the whole last season itself, because it is so impressive with what they've been able to do with this season. They've been able to get themselves together, cut out all the stuff that they know that we don't want to see, create a compelling story that goes from episode to episode, and give us great stories weekly. And that's what I love about these animated Star Wars shows. Like, we have this, we have Tales of the Empire coming out on Saturday. I could not be more excited. Tales of the Jedi was an absolute blast. One of the best things that Disney Star Wars has done, period. And I do feel like they left this open-ended to a point where we could see a continuation in one way, shape, or form. And while I'm glad I didn't guess every little thing that was gonna happen, like nobody died, Hemlock didn't get eaten by the Zillo Beast. But I guess I'll start with my negatives in saying that my expectations weren't met exactly, and they're not going to be. I can't really say that's a negative, but there were some things that I was hoping were going to happen. They didn't. That's fine. But the one thing I do have a slight problem with is I feel like we didn't really get answers to anything. Like, we know it was Project Necromancer, so it was ultimately going to lead to Snoke. or something of the sorts, but we really didn't get a definitive answer. We know that because we know what the future holds, but people who are just watching this show and kind of just following along that don't know Project Necromancer or don't know any of the lore beyond these shows, they're going to be left with like, okay, but what was this and what was that? What were the shadow clones? We honed in on the one guy and then we didn't even find out who it was. Like, I feel like that's going to be a lot of the conversation that I see on Twitter tomorrow. Good lord. Star Wars Twitter is just a whole different beast. If you guys aren't on Twitter, do yourselves a favor, keep it that way. But really, that's the only thing that I have to complain about this finale is I feel like there were a few things that I would have liked to see expanded upon a little bit more, but we ultimately didn't get there, and that's fine. They left it open-ended. Like I said, there's more room for them to do a continuation of this story in one way, shape, or form. I keep using that phrase because I have no idea what form they're going to continue this story in if they do. It could be animation, it could be live action, but like I said, I just want them to keep doing animated stuff because it works. I feel like it's the most receptive that the audience has been to Star Wars projects. And while they're definitely not getting the views that the live action stuff are, I don't think that even matters at this point because Disney Plus is not making Disney money. Disney Plus is yet to be profitable, so I don't think they're even really looking at the numbers. I know they want to compete with everybody and whatnot, but these animated shows, that's where the quality storytelling is coming from. And going back to the live action stuff for a minute, I said in my previous reactions about the live action stuff that I often watch it through the first time week to week, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. This is really good. And it's because they have a bunch of keys, and they're like, hey, look, shiny keys. Look at this. Remember? It's Anakin. Remember Clone Wars? You guys have been wanting Clone Wars, and look at it. Live action Clone Wars. Like, it's that kind of stuff that gets me wrapped up in the week to week hype. And then I rewatch the shows, and I'm often like, okay, wait a minute, this wasn't as good as I remember. So going forward, especially with The Acolyte, and I know The Acolyte is in so much controversy right now, but I'm not going to go harder on that show because of all the controversy and everything that everybody's saying about that show, whatever. I'm going to try to go harder on it just because I feel like the week-to-week experience gets me wrapped up, and I'm kind of seeing through the bullshit. And by bullshit, I mean the member berries and the jangly keys. As fans, we're really not that hard to please. I know the Star Wars fan base has a terrible reputation, and in some ways, we are hard to please, but at the same time, we just want good stories with good characters, and I feel like the animated stuff has been a great example of that. If they take the same formula and just put it in live action, it may not work as well, but I can tell you it's going to work better than what they've been doing. And while we're talking about characters, I absolutely love Omega now. I did not expect myself to be saying that at the beginning of this show. At first, you know, she starts off kind of annoying. It's kind of like Ahsoka. People did not really like Ahsoka at the start of Clone Wars. She went through an arc. She went through multiple arcs, and ultimately people ended up loving her. She's one of the most beloved characters in Star Wars. Do I think she's a little bit oversaturated at this point? She seems to be in like everything. She was in Tales of the Jedi, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. She had her own show. She's probably going to be in Tales of the Empire. I feel like we've had a little bit too much of Ahsoka. Give the character a little bit of room to breathe and then bring her back in like season 2. But Omega is a character, like I said, I did not expect to love by the end of this show. They've done a great job of building her character, and not only her character, but her relationship with the other characters in this show. Like, her relationship with the Batch itself is the heart of this whole show. And she had a special relationship with each of the members, especially Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair. You know, Hunter was kind of like her father figure or big brother figure. He was the one that she was closest with. Wrecker was kind of like her best buddy. They would go and do things together. They would goof off. And then it took some convincing, but Crosshair ended up loving her like a sister, and I loved the relationship that they did. You know, how protective he became over her throughout this season. I thought it was done so well. And while her relationship with Echo is there, it didn't stand out as much as the other characters that she has a relationship that I just mentioned. And obviously Tech taught her a bunch of technical stuff as well, so we had that, but I'm more so talking about just this season. But getting into the story of this finale, I really liked it. They took their time with it. As I said, if this was a 20-minute episode, it just would have been rushed. I have no idea how they would have done this in 20 to 25 minutes. They simply couldn't have. It just wouldn't have worked. But getting to see the kids escape, break out the Zillo Beast. The Zillo Beast didn't do as much as I was hoping. That plays into the whole expectations thing. But what he did, or what the Zillo Beast did, was rather cool. It kind of just went off, and that leaves it open-ended for the Zillo Beast as well. But all the kids go out. We see them on Pabu at the end with Emery. But everything with Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair versus these Shadow clones, when they first showed up, I was like genuinely freaked out. I was nervous for those characters. I honestly cannot believe none of them died. I'm glad that they didn't, but it surprises me that none of them did because I was preparing myself. But those guys were pretty scary and they were very skilled. One thing that I was thinking during the reaction, I didn't say it, but Crosshair kind of lost his jive a little bit. And they kept honing in on the one Shadow clone that had the sniper. Maybe they took like some of his power and like put it in some of these. Like, I have no idea what Hemlock did to these clones, but the one that we kept focusing on and the one that was chasing them throughout this season, we didn't get an answer as to who it was. You know, a lot of people were speculating, like, was it Cody? Was it Tech? It may have been Tech. We don't know. They just didn't reveal it. And Star Wars fans, we get ahead of ourselves. We get ahead of ourselves with theories. You know, Merrick, was he Star Killer? No, he was a fart cloud. More often than not, these characters that we speculate on, they end up being nobody. So that's 2 shows back to back now. So I think that we should probably learn our lesson from these. But you know, it's fun. We can't help ourselves sometimes. But this bitch Rampart, dude, kills Nala Se, but then he got what was coming to him. I cannot believe he genuinely was like, oh yeah, the Empire's gonna take me back. What was he in, an officer's uniform? Start calling him Officer Doofy with that mindset. But good riddance to that, dude. I was honestly kind of like, are they gonna do a redemption arc? Because he killed, what was the clone's name? Was it Wilco or was it Hauser? I think it was Wilco. He shot Wilco and he like fell over the edge of that cliff in season 2. I was kind of like, yeah, we can't really let him get away with that. And I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, but whenever those Shadow clones first got a hold of the batch, I was genuinely nervous. Like I said, they made me scared. And while we didn't find out who they were kind of like zombies whenever they were coming out of their pods. That's what made them so formidable and just so intimidating. They end up getting away from them though. They kill all the Shadow clones that we saw. Hemlock gets away with Omega and is gonna get picked up by a ship, but then Crosshair and Hunter get out and they save her in time. But Hemlock gets stabbed in the leg and then shot like a good 6 or 7 times and falls to his death if he wasn't dead already. So bye bye bitch, and hopefully you're a snack for the Zillo Beast later. But it was a really nice moment whenever they first shot him and he fell to his death and Omega realized, like, I'm safe now, and she ran over to them. She hugged Crosshair first because he came back for her just like she came back and like helped him escape. So I thought that moment was really nice, but they get out of there just in the nick of time. I mean, they jump to hyperspace and then 2 seconds later, the Imperial Star Destroyer comes out with 2 Venators by its side. And then Tarkin comes down, they're doing reconnaissance. They kind of just discover like, okay, well, everything here went to shit. We can't salvage anything. So they're going to divert all of their time and resources over to Project Stardust, which is a nice tease. But they all go off to Pabu. They have their happy ending. And then we jump ahead. I don't know how long we jumped. Like I said, it was probably like 5 or 10 years, somewhere in that time frame, because Hunter looked old, but he wasn't like Rex and Gregor and Wolf old in Rebels. And it seemed like Echo wasn't with them. I mean, we saw him take off. It was just like whenever they did that fade to black thing, it was just Batcher, Hunter, Omega, Crosshair, and Wrecker sitting there. So I assume they're the only ones that stayed on Pabu, and maybe like the clone cadets went off with Echo or something of the sorts. But for those 4 that stayed on Pabu, absolutely beautiful ending. I could not ask for a happier or better ending for those characters. You know, we were expecting the worst for them, but they ultimately got the ending that they deserved and the ending that they all wanted. As for Echo, you know, I'm sure that he's going to go and meet up with Rex, Gregor, and Wolf. Who knows what happens to Echo though, because we don't see him after this. I mean, we, at least yet, because when we meet up with them later, I think he mentioned he was going to meet up with Rex. It's just Rex, Gregor, and Wolf. And what happened to all the other clones that they were with? Are we building into like an actual Clone Rebellion series? You know, we thought that this series was going to be the Clone Rebellion, but no, this was just focusing more on the Bad Batch. It gave us a great story while they were at it, so I have no complaints there. But this show set the groundwork for another series of this style and a continuation of this. And you know, they mentioned Chuchi, and we saw her earlier on in the season, so I'm assuming that we could catch up with them, catch up with all the clones that are affiliated with her, get like a group together, and we could do a Clone Rebellion thing. The thing is, we know how all of that ends up just because it's Rex, Gregor, and Wolf at the end, and we don't see any other clones after that. But I still think that series would be nice to see, and you know, the whole idea of us not wanting series because we know how it's gonna end, I mean, I think that's kind of stupid, especially whenever we're dealing with Star Wars. We know where things lead. It's all about the journey, the characters, and story that you create along the way that makes these shows so damn good. And so while I had a few nitpicks with this finale, I thought it was honestly just perfection. The more that I'm thinking about it, the more that I liked it. I'm sure there's going to be people that are like, we didn't get answers to this or that, and like I said, I have those nitpicks as well, but just from a story perspective, from a character perspective, they wrapped this show up so beautifully, so perfectly. I could not have asked for more for these characters, like I said. And it leaves it open-ended for another series. Omega's going to join the Rebellion, become a pilot. I really like that. And look, I already know that this complaint is coming. People are going to call this woke because all it was an Omega origin story, if you will. I would disagree with you heavily on this just being an Omega origin story, but largely that's what this season was. This season definitely built her character up more. It made her more prominent, but it also made her more likable. But ultimately, it's setting up something for her as well, and I know people are going to be like, it's woke and all that, and trust me, I get the argument to a certain degree. I'm not picking sides here. I see what people are saying on both sides. I think that the word woke is incredibly overused. It's lost a lot of its actual credibility, but at the same time, it's undeniable what Disney is doing with some of these projects. Not just Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, the whole company, and really just Hollywood in general. I get it. But at the same time, there's some things that people are like, that's woke. I'm like, but is it though? Like, for example, X-Men 97 is absolutely fantastic. I am loving that show. I have no problems with it whatsoever, really. And before it came out, everybody was like, it's woke garbage. No, it's not. No, it is not. It's plain and simple. It's really good. It has a great story with great characters. And whenever you have a great story with great characters, that complaint of, oh, it's woke, it just gets shut down. So maybe Hollywood should learn from that. Just make good stories and good characters, and then people will flock to it. I'm all for inclusivity. I'm all for a great message, but the way that they have been doing it over the last couple of years, it hasn't been resonating with the fan base, and it hasn't been resonating with the general audience. I mean, just look at Disney's box office numbers. It's all on paper. I know there's some people that are going to deny it, but it's all there. Just look at the numbers. Look at the streaming numbers. It's all there. They left it open-ended. I like that a lot. I'm really hoping that we see more from these characters because I ended up falling in love with this whole team. And I think it worked for a lot of other people as well. I'm not speaking for everybody. Like I said, I'm sure there's going to be people that have a problem with this finale, but damn, I absolutely loved it. But let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.